another one of these top 11 worsts or bests. And actually, it's a top 11 worst. Now, remember when I did the two top 11 worst horror sequels? Well, I'm doing another top 11 worst similar list, except this time, it's going to be for the top 11 worst movie sequels in general. Not horror sequels. I've covered horror sequels. Let's cover normal sequels now. You get to know some of my 11 most hated horror sequels. No, not horror sequels. 11 most hated sequels, just in any genre, of all time. So that being said, let's start off with number 11 all the way down to number 1 is how it's going to go. So let's kickstart with number 11. Kicking off at number 11 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 from 2014. This is just about how a Spider-Man movie should not be done, and it's the only Spider-Man movie I do not own. And because these two movies made less than the Sam Raimi movies, it was decided to pull the plug and no third part was ever made. Which is a shame considering certain things teased at the end of the film but never happened. The sequel's just uninspired, Hollywood cliche filled, and just quite frankly boring. When I can think of good stuff, I guess I can say Andrew and Emma's performances and chemistry and some neat action sequences are still pretty good. The bad stuff, the changes to the villains are too severe, too many villains once again, Green Goblin's portrayal and laughable dialogue like Harry's dead, Rhino's portrayal fucking even, and also Gwen Stacy's death, which was unneeded. So yeah, this was the movie that pretty much nearly killed my interest for Spider-Man till Into the Spider-Verse. However, after No Way Home redeemed Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, hopefully because of that we may get a third one in this version anyways, regardless. Kicking off at number 10 is A Bad Day to Die Hard, or A Good Day to Die Hard. This is a huge letdown, a complete dumpster fire of a sequel. There was not really a lot of positives as this didn't even really feel like a Die Hard movie. The whole direction of the movie and the way it relied so much on green screen nearly pulls you out as practical effects was a big part of the original movies. Even John and his son are just arrogant bitches who never want to sit through it all, and the villain's deaths just basically rip off the two best films of the franchise. Whenever you get, in short guys, here's my recommendation. Whenever you get this film in a DVD collection, if you ever plan on adding the collection to your collection, just pretend it's a drink coaster for your own sake. Kicking off at number 9 is Halloween Resurrection, or Assurrection as I call it. There are just some times when a good movie franchise is abused and milked for all it's worth. The first film of the franchise is great and sets the mark. The sequels to the first film usually get very mixed reactions from audiences. Despite that though, pretty much everybody agrees with each other that Resurrection is shit. With an awful cliche that I'll explain more of at number 7 starting off the film, an iconic villain getting shat on by irritating rappers, and horrendous subplots that just go nowhere. If you're looking for some great little slasher flick, when it comes to this one, I'd say stay away. This movie is only for those fond with Michael Myers, and thus seeking unless they want to watch all the movies in the franchise, and then they'll quickly avoid this as soon as they're finished. Kicking off at number 8 is The Hangover Part 3. Now I know people seem to hate Part 2 more since it is the first film except much more disgusting than ever before. Just wait till you see the third unneeded film. This one takes an approach more in line with a violent action film than a comedy, and if that doesn't turn you off, the belittling mental illness subplot, and the animal cruelty will likely do the trick. With Alan being off his medication, the character is given the most screen time in the film. Not to mention, even Chow is given much more as well, and if we learn anything, is that these two characters were better in small doses, and Chow is even extremely ruined in this movie. Had the original Hangover stood on its own, not possessing sequels of lesser quality leading off its name, it could have very well become a classic in the next several years. However, it's too late now, and it's a shame that untold millions the previous sequel gross and the final installment will inevitably gross are put in 2 lesser films. Yeah. Like, so much for a classic. Kicking off at number 7 is Alien 3. If there was one thing this sequel invented, it's that killing off characters you loved in the last one does not ever work with audiences, you dumb fucks! Like with number 9, this sequel basically starts off with Hicks, Newt, and Bishop all getting with zero planning. Ripley becoming an annoying bitch and dies pathetically in a furnace at the end. And our new characters are unlikable rapists that replace the characters in Aliens. That's my description for this entire film. I don't need to explain anything else at this rate. I bashed this movie enough. There, I said it. At number 6, our most obvious one coming, Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi. When I think of franchise killers, this always comes to my head the most. Directed by an asshole you all know the name of, Luke Skywalker is basically this grumpy old fuck who does nothing but act rude, drink alien milk, sit around, try to kill his nephew, and does his fake Jedi trick and then dies on a rock. Rey is still a Mary Sue, Kylo Ren is still whiny as shit, Finn does nothing the whole movie, and then we have the worst of the bunch, Rose Tico, who I don't want to talk about. People can say, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones were all shit. I don't mind them. I think they're alright films. Last Jedi, though, I can never sit through this at all in any way, so it can just burn for all I care. The end. Kicking off at number 5 is Transformers: Age of Extinction. Let me start off by saying that I am not a huge Transformers fan. I never watched the show as a kid, and I didn't really play with the toys or games. Having said that, I remember being very impressed with the first Michael Bay movie when I saw it when it first came out as a kid. Was it a perfect movie? No, but as far as a mindless action flick, it was pretty good. It had great effects and the action was well done. 2 I don't like, while 3 was okay at best. This movie though had the benefit of better graphics, but loses anything else. There's no character development, the dialogue was full of cheesy lines and unfunny humor, and there was no cohesiveness to the story. Sadly, Michael Bay has not learned that character development and plot are more important than constantly filling the screen with action. The movie is more akin to dangling the keys in front of an infant, and has just as much noise and sparkle and just as little substance. I've never seen The Last Night, guys. I tried to watch The Last Night, and I quickly shut it off within minutes, so that's why it's not on this list and Age of Extinction is instead, because Age of Extinction I've seen all of and hate. Kicking off at number 4 is going to be Basic Instinct 2. Whoa! Now let me say I love the first Basic Instinct movie. I think that film and Fatal Attraction are the top 2 best of rock thrillers. As for this is probably the second best Paul Verhoeven film behind RoboCop to me. This sequel is just a horrendous abomination from beginning to end. It cannot possibly get worse. Bad acting and a lame script combined with totally inept direction. This is really bad, boring, and annoying. The only thing that somewhat keeps you concentrated is the relatively short wait for the next scene that is an exact reenacted copy of the original. It's some laughably just bad dialogue as well. It's just a terrible remake of the first film. Just does the first film in the shittiest way possible. Where the hero is not some edgy cop, but a psychologist who needs a bloody good seeing to by Catherine Trammell. In short, a better title for this whole movie would be called Basically It Stinks 2. Kicking off at number 3 is going to be Son of the Mask. Son of the Mask is one of those sequels that simply shouldn't have happened. But no, wait, there's more. This isn't just bad. It's that bad. Full of dire CGI, painfully unfunny comedy, puerile writing, legitimately no redeeming features. I can't believe that such a brilliant classic comedy from Jim Carrey like The Mask could be insulted to this degree with a sequel. It's just so cringe-inducing. The jokes are so mature, even for Saturday morning cartoons. The cartoon violence doesn't translate very well at all, and some of it seems distastefully, especially for a family film. And for $84 million, it looks like warmed-up dog shit. Plot holes and red herrings dominate the story, with there literally being no rhyme or reason for this film for existing. This film is desperate to extract any reaction from its audience, and this indulges reaction of trauma, horror, anger, boredom, and frustration. So in short, please avoid this film like the plague and watch the first film instead. Kicking off at number 2 is for a film I reviewed earlier this year, and that is for none other than Batman and Robin. Well, this original franchise of the character started out so spectacular with Tim Burton's first 2 films about the men dressed as a bat. Then it got a bit off the track with Batman Forever, but Batman and Robin was just unwatchable. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger because he had his own way of doing things, but watch him as Mr. Freeze, always just trying to be fun and do nothing but crack off dumb ice puns, is unbearable. The Batman franchise just went from lurking darkness to annoying one-liners for 8 years, and that really broke my heart. The movie even tarnished Robin and made him an annoying brat. Batgirl had no reason to be in this movie, and do I even need to bring up the stupid scene with the Bat credit card at all? Not to mention Bane. Bane is in this movie and he's a big idiot in here. So in short, this is just strongly to be avoided by anybody who is a Batman fan quick. And with that, our number 1 worst sequel of all time is Speed to Cruise Control! The worst action movie sequel. The first film on the bus was brilliant, and then we got this shitty ass thing called Speed 2. What? This film is an insult. How did they make something this bad after making that really great first film? The acting is bad. The script is terrible. The setting on the ship is boring. It's not thrilling or exciting. We don't care about the characters stuck in a situation on a ship because they are annoying, painful idiots. Especially Sandra's character Andy from the first one is also ruined in here. And I even feel bad Willem Dafoe had to star in this as that horrible, idiotic villain. My advice? Just only watch Speed. That's all you need to do. And stay as far away from this as long as you can possible. But with that, we are officially done the top 11 worst movie sequels. Well, we made it through the list. Now I gotta do the top 11 best movie sequels, and that list is going to be a lot more fun than this. I gotta say that. And also a top 11 underrated sequels might also be coming out, but we'll see. But a top 11 best sequels in general will be happening for sure. But yeah, until then, let me now know in the comments what your top worst sequels are in the comments down below. And I'll also be posting the dishonorable mentions in the comments below. And until then, that'll be it for this review. That'll be it for this top 11. Thank y'all for watching. And if you like this, want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.